going to be sharing with you in this video how to use your voice to manifest. Because what most people don't see on the planet is that your voice is so powerful. What you speak, like your throat chakra, your voice, your power to communicate, is an incredibly powerful thing. It's very spiritual. It's very spiritual. It's very physical. It's very grounded in human existence, but it's also very spiritual, because when you take power, when you take back your power using your voice, and you stop seeing it as ego or not spiritual or whatever ideas the mind comes up with to block your true power, your ability to speak what you want into existence, your actual voice. So powerful. I get so passionate because your voice can create anything. What happens is that you become a divine creator once again. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how to do this. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell, because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to use your voice to manifest is that what you say, you become. Okay? Why? Because you said so. So what you actually say, you will become. What you'll notice if you start to observe your experience unconditionally, without judgment, seeing it as good or bad, you just simply observe, you'll start to notice that you can shift into these different versions of yourself. And what you actually say, as you're saying it is the case, so it is. When you say something is the case, it is. We'll get to that in just a second here in the video. But I want you to start to realize that what you say, you become. So for example, let's just say you want to manifest a condo. Let's just say you want to live in a certain space. If you say to yourself, I am not the kind of person that can live in that kind of a space. Okay, well then so it is. There's nothing inherently about your circumstance that defines who you are in terms of who you choose to be next in the next moment. There's nothing at all, really. The circumstances can seem very enticing and very compelling and convince you. It's very convincing in terms of you believing that because this is happening, this means that I can't be who I want to be. Now that is a delusion. It's not based on reality, because reality is actually what you say it is. Sometimes it can be very confusing, because it's like what is reality? Is reality what we say? Is it just what's happening now? Well, it's an interesting thing to talk about, but the first thing that you want to start to become conscious of is not to let the circumstances define who you are in terms of who you say you want to be next, and realize that if you want to adopt a certain belief system, if you want to be a certain way, you can choose to become that and shift into that aspect of consciousness. Again, why? Why? No other reason other than the fact that you choose to embody that. You choose. See? What I used to do is I used to sit down in my meditations and I used to receive my thoughts. I'd be like, should I make this decision? And then I wait for the answer. And that worked for me. But at some point I realized that I was stuck in a loop. It was a kind of like a loop where I wasn't taking ownership over my decisions. What do I want? Not what my mind says, even though they're one, but I sped up the process by choosing what I want. But the difference is that I wasn't coming from my ego anymore. I was letting that higher flow come through me and realize that what I want as the ego, so to speak, is not necessarily what the universe wants through me. So I broke those two things completely, and I let myself be the universe. So what the universe wants is what I want. So when I say what I want, what you want, I'm talking about the universe. But the funny thing is that you are the universe. So I'm not talking about the ego here right now. I'm saying that what you say you become from the universal perspective. But the thing is though, when you expand your identity and realize you are the universe, you bring back your spiritual power and you can speak things into existence. So if something happens to you and you say, this means that I can't get what I want, okay. If you say so, well then you're right. If you say that you know what? It doesn't matter what's happening. I'm going to get what I want anyways because I'm a creator. Okay, if you say so, right? Which one is right and which one is wrong? They're both technically right, and they could just be just as wrong, depending on which parallel reality you're in. In one parallel reality, that mentality was wrong. In another reality, it was right. So, see, what the ego likes to do is it likes to separate things as right or wrong or good or bad. All of this collapses when you take back your power because you realize there's no right or wrong. It's just, what do you want? What does your heart want? There's no right or wrong way to live, really. Of course, relative to one reality, it can seem right or wrong, but really, it's just what you want. It's just, what does your heart actually want? So the key is to see that what you say, you become. Why? Again, because you said so. And you can start to become conscious of the meanings that you're assigning to situations and tune into only what your heart actually resonates with and just drop what doesn't. It's just as simple as that. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to use your voice to manifest is number 2, start to become conscious that as you're saying something is the case, so it is, right? Now, I don't want you to dishonor a situation that if you're feeling really dense, you're feeling very contracted, and you feel that you can't be saying things and you have to be more realistic and more logical, fully honor that. Fully honor what you're experiencing, what you trust. If you don't trust yourself to do something where you speak something into existence and you have to, give away your power to other beings and get opinions and go through that struggle, if you believe you have to, then I would just say, oddly enough, as crazy as it sounds, do that. Like, just trust that if you feel that, because you're not going to be able to take on what I'm saying unless it really connects with your heart. If you're just doing it because you believe you have to, that's still you giving away your power, right? If you start saying things into existence but it doesn't feel right to you, doesn't feel empowering, you're just doing what you're doing anyways, and you're amplifying what you don't want. Which I'm not saying this is you, but people can get into this trap where they start doing things because they believe they have to, even spiritual things, even law of attraction based ideas. And that's no different than where you were before, right? The key is to break out of that entire illusion and just become the unconditional observer of your experience, and just notice from that space, as being the unconditional observer, that when you're saying something, it becomes real. Like, what you focus on does actually grow. Like in the movie The Secret, in the book, they talk about how what you focus on grows. It is completely true. What you focus on grows. But the problem is that most people are not coming from an unconditional awareness. They're coming from very conditional awareness. And so they're trying to focus on what they want while unconsciously resisting where they are. And so they don't believe that what you focus on grows. They believe that what you focus on just manifests problems. And no matter where I go, I keep manifesting these problems no matter what I try. Because from that level of consciousness, that unconditional, that non-unconditional awareness, meaning there's no unconditional observation of what's happening, but there's a lot of energy and momentum in the direction of controlling the external world, right? From that space, what you focus on grows is going to sound like just spiritual fantasy. It's not going to sound real at all. It's going to be like, oh, it's delusional, it's not real, it's not grounded in reality. But the truth is that once you start to take back your power and start observing, stop controlling, just notice how what you focus on just grows. One thing is not good, one thing is not bad, it's all just is. But what you focus on, you'll see more of that in your experience. What you focus on will be amplified. You'll get more of it. And if you're not in resistance to anything is good or bad, you can simply free-flowingly focus on what you want, and something else that wants you will also join you. And that's an incredibly powerful state of consciousness to be in. So I want you to start to notice in your experience. Just become aware. Don't believe what I'm saying or take it on as a blind faith. Notice how when you're saying something, you're immediately choosing to embody that belief system, whether consciously or unconsciously. You're always doing this. I'm just inviting you to become conscious of what is already happening at some level, but to expand your awareness and see that you can choose that. Let the universe choose it through you if you want to see it that way. Well, either way, it's helping you to step into empowerment. Now, the third and final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to use your voice to manifest is number 3, Consciousness is an empty canvas, and you can paint it how you want. You can literally paint it. So what's happening around you right now is empty. It doesn't mean anything other than what you want it to mean. So for example, like I always say, if there's some circumstance in your life where you believe that this situation means I have to be stuck, I can't create the finances that I want, I can't have the relationship that I want, that's not true. It's not the truth. It's just wrong. It's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because everything that's happening is empty. It just is. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. But that emptiness, you can sort of paint on top of it your desired way of seeing life, how you want to see life, what makes you feel the most empowered. And you have that power as a conscious creator, but you have to start to drop the previous ideas about what you think about this situation, about how it's wrong, about how it's bad, and you want to start to stop pushing away how you naturally actually feel about the situation from your higher self's point of view. From your higher self's point of view, it is what it is, but I'm going to make what I can out of this. I'm going to say that one more time. From your higher self's point of view, this situation happening to you, any challenge, any obstacle, anything that is seemingly getting in the way of what you want, this is how your higher self thinks. This is what it is, but I'm going to make what I can out of this. I'm going to alchemize these frequencies into my heart's preference. And it's not egotistical. It's the most spiritual, most enlightening thing you can do when you start to realize that this is what it is, but I'm going to start to take responsibility over how I choose to experience this frame of reality so that the next frame can be more epic and can be seemingly more in alignment with what I want. And it seemingly is, but you created that because you chose to tune into that frequency. So it's up to you. It's up to you. You can start to notice that what is happening now is up to you in terms of how you perceive it. Now, when I say you, am I talking about the limited ego that controls everything? No, it's the higher version of you that already has what you want, that you can let come through to see reality in the most epic way from a higher paradigm in comparison to the current paradigm that you're at. Because you want to think higher than where you are. But the only way to tune into those frequencies and receive those downloads is to drop what you previously thought about this situation and be open to the fact that you can receive higher perspectives that are more in alignment with what you prefer to see. And this isn't even something that you have to force. You can just let yourself naturally feel how you feel about every situation, even if it's something that's more negative, but that lifts you up a little bit. It doesn't matter. Subjectively to you, if it makes you feel empowered, if it makes you feel more connected, if it makes you feel more alive, more aliveness in the body, it doesn't matter what that perspective is. It's better than where you were before. Trust that. Anything really to keep you out of a loop where you're not feeling anything, where you're numb and you have a little bit of excitement coming into your life, you push it away because I can't do this, because I'm not worthy. And then you freeze. You freeze your energy, but not in a good way where you're maybe focusing on something that you want in an ecstatic way, where you freeze that frame. You can do that. You can sip it to a timeless, infinite bliss. You can do that if your heart wants that. But I mean, like, you freeze. You freeze. You become very logical. Yep, this is what's real. This is reality. This is how it is. No, I'm sorry to tell you, that's not how reality is. It's a choice to believe that reality is logical and this is just how it is. That's not how reality is at all. It's just a belief. It's a way of seeing life. It's a belief system. It's a perspective. But you can choose a different perspective, so to speak, expand your awareness and see that everything is empty, and you decide how the next how things happen, or at least you have some say here to increase the probability, at the very least, of things happening that you want to see by choosing to see it in a way that resonates to you. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on the planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible, helping themselves and helping others as well. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. Also, leave a comment down below if this video was supportive for you and helped you in some way. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.